Hey guys, let's talk about fidgeting. What is fidgeting? Fidgeting is that annoying, constant mini movement that we sometimes make in our bodies physically when we feel kind of stressed or when we feel like there's anxiety that wants to be expressed out, when we just feel restless. What can it look like? You're usually just kind of playing with your pen and you always need to hold something in your hand, or you're just kind of constantly moving or constantly playing with your hair, or maybe you just move around, you move your body around in different positions all the time. It can look like this or like that. Sometimes it looks like this, and sometimes it looks like that. But the idea is that fidgetness is our constant need to move and make mini movements and mini adjustments that show us that we are not internally at peace and we're just restless. Where does fidgetness comes from and what's the mindset behind it? So the mindset says, I am not at peace, I am not calm, therefore I need to move. Why? Because emotions, you guys, are energy in motion. Emotions. What does that mean? It means that every emotion that I feel is energy, and that energy needs to move. And energy, as you know from physics, never ever goes away, it doesn't disappear. What happens with energy is that it only knows how to transform into something else, right? You have water, you can transform it into fumes or in steam, or you can freeze it and it'll become a block of ice. So the idea is that energy only knows how to transform into something new. That's why when I feel sad, I'm crying, there are tears running down my face. Those physical external expression, that energy translating into something outside of me, helps that energy of sadness release out of my body. It's proven science, you guys. When we are wanting to get angry and there's angry energy kind of stored in the body, what do we want to do? We want to scream. We want to tighten our face. We want to tighten our fists. We want to punch a pillow. We want to scream into a pillow, right? Why? Because that energy wants out of the body. And these are all physical expressions of how emotion can get out of the body. So what does it mean that the emotion wants out of the body? It means that we are not releasing and relaxing with the emotion. So there's so much of it starting to build up that is starting to overpower us. And then it's trying to, regardless of if we want to or not, show itself in terms of fidgetness. Okay, so the emotion needs out and it's releasing and relaxing into in order for us to feel at peace. So fidgetness is about having a lot of fear, because all negative emotions are coming out of fear. I say negative because no emotion is negative. All emotions are beautiful. For example, anger is an emotion that wants to stand up for you. It's your best friend. It's like your bodyguard saying, you shall not pass. Anger is the emotion that wants to protect you, but we've kind of given it a bit rap by saying that it's rage. Anger is not rage. So that was a small example how we shut our emotions down by not listening to them, not processing them, and not letting them out of our body. Therefore, they're being stored in our body for our survival mode to get us back to homeostasis, which is balance and peace within the body, is trying to get it out of you. Therefore, you find yourself sitting like this for hours because the body is literally trying to get that energy out of your body. So the mindset is that I'm running away from something, that I'm not at peace, which is very draining. It's very, very draining. It's the number one reason for stress and for burnout, that not releasing energy from the body. So the mindset is always, I'm not at peace, therefore I have to do something about it. So your body takes action. What would happen if you took the action? Your body wouldn't have to. Why is it so dominant in esports? Three reasons that are, for me, the top reasons. There are many more. The first one is the young age. When we're so young and delicate, we haven't learned yet how to master our emotions. Therefore, when esports is starting out so young and there's so much pressure and contracts and work and pressure like on showing up in the world in terms of a more advanced age, being more mature than what you are, sets a lot of pressure on our body, which creates a lot of stuffed emotions and stored emotions in the body, which creates a lot of fidgetness. The second reason is that no matter what the age is, the amount of pressure, the competitiveness, even if you're in ranked, it doesn't have to be tier one pressure and being on a world stage. When you put yourself out there and you get tilted, even in ranked, every single day, over and over and over again, it's creating a lot of mini traumas in your body, a lot of stored emotions that haven't been released and haven't been processed. And a trauma is not necessarily just something big that happened to you one day. It's all of those mini things that you haven't been dealing with, which is very dominant in esports because we are constantly physically, even mentally in the game, like in terms of visual, are under attack, right? Because the games are always in that energy. I have to be very strategized. There's always a pressure of time to perform, to this, to that, to deal with people. So it's constantly kind of putting us in a fear of under attack and under pressure. The third reason is this underlying mentality that says, I need to be mentally tough. I don't need to show my emotions. I don't need to deal with my emotions. I can figure everything out with my brain. And feeling your emotions is weak or is less powerful or makes me feel like I'm too vulnerable. So it makes me kind of close back down. So the mindset in the industry, I love it that it's growing. A lot more people are open to mental performance and a lot more people are open to feel their emotions and understand it's the regulation. It's a part of life of self-regulating to get back to balance, right? We get triggered and there's a fear response that happens. We get adrenaline and cortisol and all those stress hormones that start to build up the tension in our body. And the natural response of the body is to bring us back to homeostasis, to bring us back to balance. So it's not weak or low or not tough enough to deal with your emotions. It's actually the empowering, smart thing to do. It's the thing that's going to get you to balance, to show up your best that you can every day. That's the mindset we want to go to in esports. And that's why it's so dominant, because still there's a piece of the industry, of the mentality that says, I need to be tough. I can't ever get tilted and I can't feel my emotion. I can share something that personal with my team. They're going to think I'm a wimp. And that is what's creating a lot of the fidgetedness. So now that we understand what happens when we fidget, what is it, what's the mindset behind it, and why is it relevant specifically in esports, let's understand what to do about it. So we want to teach our body how to self-soothe, how to self-regulate, and how to really release emotions and relax with them and into them. Step number one, you want to pay attention to what happens to you without even trying to work on the fidgetiness. Don't worry about fixing it or controlling it. Just start to develop self-awareness about what happens before you fidget and after you fidget. So what happens to you before that? What were you thinking? What were you feeling? What was happening to you outside of you? What were you doing? Maybe every time you think, every time you get intense about something, your body starts to do that shake or that fidgetness movement. What were you physically doing before and after? So you want to see what gets you into it and what gets you out of it. Pay attention that you're focusing and recognizing what's happening without trying to change it in the moment. Because again, emotions are energy in motion. I've been saying it throughout my videos. Maybe it's the first time you've heard it, but emotions are energy in motions. They want to be recognized. They want to be paid attention to, dealt with, and then they move on. Just like energy does, it just rotates and evolves to something new. So the first step is self-awareness. The second step is to really understand how it feels in your body when it happens. So pay attention to the physical sensations that happen. Feel the fidgetness in the form of my body is tense, my body is anxious, my body wants to move. There's like a lot of energy in me and I don't know how to deal with it. So start to develop also self-awareness toward the actual expression, the physical expression that you feel in the body. How do you feel in your body as it is happening? Make a list of every time you have it, add more things that you feel that are creating this. Step number 3, now I can take a little bit of action on this fidgetness. What does that mean? I want to recognize when it's happening. So I developed the self-awareness to see what gets me into it, what gets me out of it, and when it actually happens, what's happening in my body. Now I'm aware, oh, okay, I'm playing with my pen a lot, this is fidgetness. Or I'm doing this is my leg is shaking a lot, this is fidgetness. Now I want to relax into the emotion. So try to think about this fidgetness as an emotion that's calling out for your attention, and really set your mind to focus on it. So you can even close your eyes and literally focus on that fidgetness, on that need to move. And whenever you can, slow the leg down or put the pen down and just relax your arms and your hands. And instead of moving, just feel fully the sensation of the urge of wanting to move. Why is that important? Because when you feel the urge to move, the urge itself subsides and you don't have to act physically with the energy of moving it outside of you. So you relax with the energy of needing to move. Step number 4 is going to be about working mentally with yourself. What do I mean? Every time you just close your eyes and you're not going to move and you're just going to be still with yourself, but feeling the urge to move and giving it all the space that it needs and really feeling it. Sometimes I tell my coaches, feel it with your breath, like it's growing with every breath that you take, and feel it like it's as big as the room. Give it all the space that it needs, but still choose not to move in the moment. So the mind is going to come in step number 4, and it's going to be like, I can't do it. I can't not move. No, I have to move. Da-da-da-da-da. Remind yourself that you've been sitting with your eyes closed for a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds without moving. Therefore, you are negating the thought that says, I can't move, because you've already done so. You're already not moving. You're already sitting there just feeling your sensations, feeling your feelings, and not trying to run away. Because remember, running away costs you so much energy. It's draining you. So remind yourself and reinforce in your mind that you are already doing it, and there's no need to think that you can't do it, because you already are already there. And instead of that, think about how much it's costing you to continue this. So really remind yourself how drained you are and how annoying it is to constantly try to move and play with something, and how nice and peaceful it would be if you could just sit and chill and be in good, positive energies. And so really do the mental work that it takes to get you to stop fidgeting and stay with feeling the emotions of step number 3. Now, step number 5 is going to be about repetition. Every time this happens, sit with the feeling, get yourself to a place where you can stop moving the pen or stop moving your leg, and just feel the feeling. Then work with the mental attitude that we just spoke about and repeat it over and over again. So every time it's lesson and lesson and lesson. And obviously, when I work with you, we're going to go deeper into step 6 until 10, so you can actually resolve this and get rid of this behavior in your life. But steps 1 to 5, you can absolutely do on your own. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.